Did you know that anovulation, or the absence of ovulation, is one of the leading causes of infertility in women? But what if I told you that understanding your body's signals could actually help address this issue naturally? Hi, I'm Carly Schroeder, a certified functional nutrition specialist, mom of 3 young boys, and your fertility coach. And today we're discussing anovulation, what it is and how it affects your fertility, and natural ways to manage it using the fertility awareness method and insights from the book Flow. Let me share the story of Emma. Emma had been trying to conceive for over a year with no success. She discovered that she wasn't ovulating regularly. Feeling lost, she turned to natural methods and found hope in the fertility awareness method and the recommendations from the book Flow. So these tools empowered her to take control of her fertility journey. In this video, we're going to cover what is anovulation and its causes, and how you can support it with dietary and lifestyle changes to support your ovulation, the role of hormonal balance, and how to use the fertility awareness method to actually track your ovulation. And we're also going to dive into some of the recommendations from the book Flow. So understanding anovulation and its causes can help you start to see what's actually happening in your body. So anovulation is when the ovaries do not release the egg during the menstrual cycle. This can be caused by hormonal imbalances such as stress or excessive exercises or conditions like PCOS. So think of your menstrual cycle as a clock. Anovulation is like it's stuck gear, preventing the clock from actually working correctly. One beautiful quote that I like to use is, the more you understand about your body, the more you can achieve balance and wellness. So let's just be a student and understand your body. So we want to support ovulation with a balanced diet, and that means foods that are whole foods with nutrients in vitamin D and zinc and fatty acids. They're essential. So imagine your body is like a garden and it needs the right nutrients to bloom. We need to avoid processed foods, and we want to focus on fresh fruits and vegetables and lean proteins and healthy fats. The role of the hormonal balance is critical for regular ovulation. So hormones are the body's messengers, and they're ensuring that everything is running smoothly. Supplements like Vitex or Chaseberry can support hormonal health, while stress management techniques such as meditation and yoga can help keep cortisol levels in check. Next, let's talk about the fertility awareness method and how it can be so important in understanding if you're even ovulating. So by tracking your basal body temperature, your cervical mucus, and your cycle length, it can actually help you identify ovulation patterns. So those who are experiencing anovulation, you might not even know it unless you are tracking your menstrual cycle. So I'm going to dive over to the whiteboard and show you what kind of insights it can actually bring you in understanding your basal body temperature and your cervical mucus, and how that can tell you if you're actually ovulating. All right, so let's look at an anovulatory cycle and what this would look like. So if you're tracking your temperatures, an anovulatory cycle will look like you have these little peaks and little valleys, but you won't see that sustained temperature, that sustained thermal shift of it going upwards. So you can see here that I didn't draw a cover line because we didn't have a sustained elevated temperature. So in anovulatory cycles, this is why it's so important to actually track your menstrual cycle, because if you weren't tracking the temperatures, you might think because you had a bleed here and then here on day 40 you had another bleed, you would think that you had went through ovulation, but you did not. This menstrual cycle, this bleed isn't showing that ovulation occurred. So what you see here is actually an estrogen withdrawal bleeding, or it's that buildup of the endometrium where it can't hold it any longer, and due to the lack of progesterone, it releases and you see the estrogen withdrawal bleeding. So you might notice in this unusually light or unusually heavy menstrual cycle. So it's not like your normal ovulatory cycle. You might also notice patches of wetness or patches of dry days in your anovulatory phase. An anovulatory cycle may be just due to sickness right before an ovulation, or travel, as that's a big stressor on the body, or it could be intense amount of stress. So the periods of anovulation could be from that, or it could be from your phases of premenopausal or adolescence, it's common, or if there's an ongoing continued health issue. Next, I want to talk about some of the recommendations from this book, Flow. It actually offers some practical advice for managing anovulation. And one key recommendation is using insulin sensitivity. So, a diet low in refined sugars and high in fiber can actually help regulate insulin, which is crucial for ovulation. Additionally, the book suggests herbal supplements like cinnamon and chromium to support our metabolic health and ovulatory function. So, returning back to Emma's story and adopting a nutrient rich diet and balancing hormones and using the fertility awareness method and incorporating the tips from Flow, she was able to restore regular ovulation and eventually conceive. Emma's journey illustrates that knowledge is power, and with the right tools, you can overcome anovulatory cycles. So, as a recap, understand that ovulation can be affected by stress, by an improper diet, by a lack of proper sleep. And so you can use holistic approaches to start to heal that and start ovulating regularly. So if fertility is on your mind and conceiving is on your mind, then ovulation is mandatory for that to happen. If you would like to share a personal experience or leave a comment below letting me know about where you're at in your fertility journey or what health techniques and tips have worked for you, I'd love to learn from you. I love to connect. And if you didn't know this, I have a community on school.com/rootsfree. There, it's a group of women all coming together to empower themselves to get more knowledge and understanding of what's happening in their body so they can take charge of their fertility. I'd love to see you on there for live Q&As, in the classroom learning, and on the discussion board connecting with other people who are in a similar place. Thank you so much for being here today. And if you haven't already done this, you're going to want to click that red button. It's easy to do and free for you. So support me in that way. Have a great day.